Good morning. This live audio broadcast is for my YouTube channel. I will be downloading this as my vlog for the Haitian Voice. This is for my YouTube channel, and since this platform, such a good platform, so we're going to use this platform interchangeably. And this is what I'm talking about. What happened last night at the Queen's Court is exactly what I'm talking about when I tell a woman, how can you sit down as a woman and just passively and just allow a male to take on your title as a queen and think it's going to end up in good news for you? And that's what I'm talking about. So this vlog today is for my YouTube channel. This is in response to what happened last night at the Queen's Court. The Queen's Court docket. Monique was supposed to come on the Queen's Court, and if you're familiar with the shebang, we were supposed to have the host, Khia and TsMadison. A few weeks ago, I did a vlog responding to a few male YouTubers are lying and taking on the title of queen, and they were bragging 3 queens. And in my response to them, how can you steal my title and still look at yourself in the mirror as a proud male? In my response to them, my recommendation was for these males who keep calling themselves queen, who keep hijacking female identities, female titles. Because for a lot of these females, these titles mean nothing. These identity strings could be on a guitar, they could be on the bass, and it would make the same sound for a lot of these females. Nothing is so different. So my recommendation to these males was to go back into the male kingdom as you are. Don't change for nobody. Go back to the male kingdom as you are and forge your title as a king. But we see that when these males go to the male kingdom and when they go to deal with these heterosexuals, we can see that they get on all fours and they lick just like their doggies. And so what happened last night with Khia and TsMadison, it's expected. I expected that to happen. Because number one, Khia is professing herself to be a queen. But if you're a real queen, you're not going to allow a male to take on your queen title, because you know deep down inside he's not a queen. You know if he should be anything, it should be a king, or he can serve the queen. When it comes to reading the cards, I do. So what happened last night with the Queen's Court docket, and you see how everything is turning up on Khia now? Because now Khia is going to bear the burden of what happened last night, because she was already compromised. First, she compromised her queendom. How can you be a queen? And because queens, one thing about us queens, we don't want what others have. But what it is that we have, our territory, we really do well to keep it and to keep imposters away from it, you see. So when Khia was professing queendom to me, and she sat there on the Queen's Court with TsMadison, a transgender, and my advice to TsMadison as a transgender is for you to forge your space as you are with the titties and all, darling. Shake them all you want. Okay? Because we know scrotums don't bounce like that. So it's fun to be a woman. So forge your way as you are into the men kingdom. Fight the heterosexuals for your spot. But Khia did not say that to you. Had Khia being that world queen, she would have said that to you, TS. She would. And so now, because and I watched the Periscope with Monique. Hello, Monique. I love you, darling. And I have to say, Monique, and I have said it in the past, that people like you, public figures like you, are copying me, because it is I who have always been speaking out. It is I who's been standing my grounds, and you people are joining the fight that I've been going. And I wouldn't even call it a fight, I would call it a movement. So I welcomed you when I saw you open up, because you've always been one of my favorite comedians. So hello to Monique. So I watched the whole Periscope shebang with Monique, and TsMadison was crying. It should have been you crying. If anyone should have been crying, Khia, it should have been you. But instead, you decided to play the tough bitch. Who said a queen always had to play the role of a tough bitch? And here, the transgender male is crying. She's crying. Yeah, she's sitting there, and she's, oh, I tried so hard. And the story that she's telling, because we cannot see all of the background, we don't know that she had days to prepare, and she started last night, which was at the last minute. We don't know these little details. All we do know is this transgender male, she's crying. And you know, to see a man cry is just devastating for me. But I wasn't buying it, because I was expecting you to say, oh, Monique, come on the camera and speak to Monique. Like, in that moment, as a queen, where was your grace to another queen? Oh, my God. Khia, you see what happens when you compromise your queendom? Right now, at this moment, Khia, you are carrying on the burden. OMG, it's you who's paying for that, because guess what? Your reputation is now tainted, and you work to put it there, because you compromised your queendom. Instead of allowing TsMadison to forge her way into the man kingdom as a transgender male, to confront those heterosexuals for her space as a transgender male, she doesn't do that. TsMadison came in and took in the female. She hijacked femininity, and you allowed it. You aided it. So you became an aider in the destruction of your own queendom, and now the queendom has fallen. Boom. The queendom is done. And that's all. And this is a perfect, what happened last night at the Queen's Court is a perfect example of what I had been saying all along. Perfect example of what I had been saying all along. Do you see it, Khia? Or do you just see your neck, your back, and your crack? Is that all which encompasses the Queen's vision? And Monique, the whole thing was just incredibly all you. And today, you see the bloggers. Yeah, everybody's putting the burden on you, because at that moment, you had been allowing this transgender male to hijack your femininity for so long that it was just dead. It was just that steak that you just put the fork into it and you toss it to the doggy. And I remember advising you, Khia. Even I said to you, stop looking like Osama bin Laden. Stop the turban wars. Stop the turban wars. You're a woman, and you have a transgender male next to you, and you're allowing that transgender male to emanate femininity more than you. Like, what is that? What is more of your femininity than your hair, your full essence? And at that moment, you are allowing her to shine, to drink soup on your head. And today, things have fallen apart in your hands. I want to see how you flip it. I want to see how you come back with this, Khia. Will you come back with your neck or your back? Like, I'm really trying to figure out why you couldn't see this coming, because I did warn you. and for the women who continue to allow males to govern and to hijack their femininity just to have men friends, just to have something popular going on, you will be asking yourself sooner than later, was it worth it? Because one time I was in your shoes. I was in your shoes. And I'm going to give you a quick example. And we are using the Queen's Docket as an example. So one time I'm chilling with my gay buddy, and here's his lover, and they're kissing. Oh, you think you're going to be kissing and two of you, and I'm just going to sit here and watch you? At that moment, it wasn't me. It was just the inane queen in me. I'm taking your man. It's not going to be your man anymore. I'm just going to I don't know what comes over me, but it's just wonderful emotion of well-being where your man just wants to be with me. And you're no longer there. You're just done. And that's what a queen does when she's been, I would say when she's, because it's not an attack. It's just a passive-aggressive thing that the homosexuals and the transgender, it's a passive-aggressive thing that they do with the women. Because what they are doing is they are taking on all these identities of all these women. So these transgenders and these homosexuals, most of them are the makeup of many women. They just find things that they admire and they adopt it. Okay, fine, that's fine. Adopt as you wish. But do not accept me to endorse you as a queen. Because as I said to you, you can be whatever you want. You can act however you want. You can do as you wish. But you cannot hijack my femininity and expect me to sit by and advertise with you and, I would say, endorse it with you. And that's what Khia did. And Khia, honey, I don't feel sorry for you. You know, I don't feel sorry for you, honey. This is how things happen, because it's all public, it's all going on, and now you are being looked at as the hardcore bitch because you did act. It must have been that turban. That turban must have been tied too tight. It must have been tied too tight around your forehead. And this is what I said to you a couple of weeks ago. Stop looking like Osama bin Laden because you were acting like Osama bin Laden. All you had to do was come on the camera and be graceful to Monique. This is Monique. Yo, this is, at that moment, you were just a bitch. Yo, bitch, this is Monique. You know, like, this is a quick vlog for my YouTube. I wanted to respond to what's happening in the Queen's Court, what happened at the Queen's Court docket last night, the whole shebang. And it's an example, it's a perfect example of what I mean when I tell you, women, do not let these men hijack your femininity. Let these males go into the male kingdom and let them face the heterosexuals and let them demand of the heterosexuals that part of the male kingdom which belongs to them, because obviously they are males. So when the women act like Khia, they create a problem in femininity because the crisis is in masculinity. When you look at the black women, for the most part, she's 100. For the most part, like, you know what? I have had experiences where I've looked at black women at their worst, and they were 100. Like one time I was driving down the street and I saw this one young black woman and she was walking out. You could tell something wasn't right. But at the same time, the way that she was walking down the street, I just looked at her and I'm like, damn, how can it exist like that? Like you see the chaos, but then you see that determination. You see that power walking, but then you see the chaos. Like, how can it exist in the same form? That's the wonder of femininity. So, I'm not a soldier to protect anybody. What I am is a commentator, just like you. I have the gift just like you, and I watch just like a whole lot of you. So, in response to the Queen's Docket, I want to use that incident as an example of what my vlogs have been talking about, because a lot of you listen to my vlogs, you watch my broadcast, and you assume the worst because you refuse to look at the evidence when it comes to your docket, when the receipt comes to you, when you pull that receipt out the drawer and you look at the total. You refuse to compute the math. You refuse to calculate the events that led up to that space, to that moment. You are not doing the calculation. You just want to go with what the impression of the moment is. Well, we're queens. We like to know what's going on. We like to analyze things, not just on a superficial factor, but also on a deeper level. So this vlog is for me. This vlog is to defend my work, because you listen to my work and you watch my broadcast and you think this is a joke. But watch what happened at the Queen's Court docket last night, and watch what's going to happen to Khia, because already people are saying she was wrong. Because it was TsMadison that was crying. It was TsMadison that was saying, please, please. Bitch, Khia, how you just messed up so bad? How you forgot to be a queen? How did this happen? Because you have been allowing this male to juice you right next to you. And I warned you with these turbans. What's going on with these turbans, girl? By the way, both of you were looking like cadavers. What's going on with that? Both of you were looking stiff as hell. Anyhow, I'm out of here. Hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Haitian Voice. Share, like. I don't usually say it, so do it.